playing kind of grindy decks with tons of removal. I see a lot of planeswalkers here.
Well, the way that Jeff gets an advantage in this, if we do all this grindy stuff, and then Jeff casts Seasons Pass.
Seasons Pass is just so backbreaking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how it's done. So Jeff's opponent, Teerawat Pratoomsri,
Yep.
down a game playing Marty Control. Both these players 6-0-1.
And he does have ways to generate lots of card advantage himself with Nahiri, Chandra, Sorin, Obnixilis, and a couple of Goblin Dark Dwellers.
Yep. So it's going to be a weird, this is going to be another matchup where players just don't run out of things to do.
Yeah.
But eventually, someone's going to exhaust the other person and have some sort of card advantage engine work. For Pratoomsri, it could be the Goblin Dark Dwellers or Nahiri. For Jeff, it's all about Dark Petition for Seasons Past. That's the big one. And Jeff actually has 2 Dark Petitions main. Man, he had Virulent Plague main in Atlanta, and he's got it main again this weekend.
I think that's where you need to be.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. I think Virulent Plague is really important for this style of deck. And he's got his 1 Seasons Past. And the sideboard, he's got some Infinite Obliterations to work with, Transgress the Mind. See a lot of Lambhole Pacifists in the sideboard this weekend. A little surprised by that.
Well, if you're worried about humans,
just need some sort of roadblock.
Yeah, it's one of the best 2-drops that you can play against them. You already have almost all of the removal spells in your deck.
Yep.
So it's almost better to just get a big wall out there.
That's reasonable. And then he's got another Seasons Pass in the sideboard. So this one's going to be a little bit longer, I think. Though I do find Jeff to be a little bit advantaged. I just don't think there's anything that Pratoomsri can do that keeps up with Seasons Past.
Yeah, with the tutors, it just gives him a lot of flexibility to get whatever he needs, including a Seasons Pass, which can be just backbreaking.
Teerawat going to mulligan very quickly. Looks like Jeff's going to keep his opening hand. We can learn a little bit more about Jeff right now. Very, very successful player. He won Season 1 in regards to the points race. He was your Season 1 points leader to qualify for the Players' Championship. So we'll see him at the Star City Game Center later this year. A 25-year-old from Bloomington, Illinois. 13 open top 8s. No win yet for Jeff. One invitational top 8 as well. He's a stay-at-home dad with 2 awesome sons and future Magic players that have actually made the trip.
Yep,
along
they're
with
here.
His wife here this weekend. Got to see them. They're going to be doing Disney, which is really cool, and Universal for the next couple of days, and then they'll be driving to Dallas, Texas for the Open there next weekend, where Jeff will get to play his format of choice in Modern.
Yeah.
Which is really good for him. I know he's always looking forward to Modern tournaments anyway. Probably a little Kiki court action.
Yeah, is he still on Kiki court?
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't want to change decks if I'm Jeff, given how much he's been winning with that deck.
Well, yeah, we had talked about Tom as someone who picks a deck and then refines it and makes it his own, and Jeff is very much the same way.
Jeff going to start things off with a Duress here. You see a Transgress the Mind and Read the Bones. Looks like an Anguish Unmaking and a Sorin in Pratoomsri's hand. So Jeff will write down the contents, and we'll see what card he does want to select. Sometimes in instances like this, you see a player take a discard spell, but it looks like he's just going to take the Read the Bones.
Yeah, I would think that these games are going to go really long, and the card advantage is so critical.
Transgress the Mind will take Dark Petition from Jeff's hand because it's the only thing that Teerawat can select. There's another Dark Petition, 2 Sylvan Advocates, a Swamp, and a Shambling Vent.
This is a very awkward hand for Jeff.
A little bit. There's Shambling Vent, pass the turn back.
But he knows he can keep a hand like that because this matchup's so slow. His opponent's not just going to get ahead of him and swarm him with some creatures.
Another Shambling Vent there for Pratoomsri, and just simply pass the turn back. Canopy Vista. So Jeff has found his green mana. An ultimate price to draw for Teerawat. He'll pass the turn back over to Hoogland.
This is a little bit different from watching the green white tokens.
A touch! A touch! Not too much going on. Can't take ultimate price. Can't take some other things, though.
This looks like it might be an Anguished Unmaking.
I believe it is. Yeah, it's Anguish Unmaking. I just wanted to make sure. And that's the card that Teerawat has left. There's the ultimate prices. Sylvan Advocate, Transgress took Sorin. There's a land, Shambling Vent, come on in.
Boom.
Yep.
Only 9 more of those and this game's over.
When things break down, you got to fire up the vent. Here is a Sylvan Advocate, pass the turn back.
Jeff trying to hide his creature behind those lands.
Tisk, tisk, tisk. Here's a Roast. Oh, no red mana. Didn't even notice that.
Awkward.
A little bit.
Yep.
Are we going to maybe see the Anguish Unmaking right now? I think there are better uses for that card. Teerawat's got a lot of life to work with, too.
Yeah. Well, and with Jeff only on 4 lands, he can just fire up a Shambling Vent and hold back that Advocate all day.
Yeah. No, simply pass.
Yeah,
Back over to Jeff.
Looks like he came to the same conclusion.
Here comes the Sylvan Advocate. Well, the Anguish Unmaking going to be used on this. I don't love that very much. Like, I'd rather use my life total as a resource, because if Jeff plays a Planeswalker, he's just pretty dead to it.
Yeah. This is a Nissa.
Like, I'd rather have Anguish Unmaking for that.
Yes.
You know? And take a couple of shots.
That could be very dangerous in this matchup, especially when they both have very few cards in their hand.
Mm-hmm. Looks like Duress may have been the draw. There is Duress. A Languish, a Grasp of Darkness, and a Dark Petition.
It's a timely Duress.
Yeah, I would take the Dark Petition.
Yeah, you would.
Yep, there it goes. Teerawat agrees with me. Draw a card. It's a Plains. That's land 6. Almost Nissa time. Looks like Jeff, you saw him peer over a little bit. Can I activate my Shambling Vent? Yes, you can. Beatdowns. Plains, pass it.
And the coast was clear because Pratoomsri did not have another black source to fire up his vents.
Yep. Looks like he might fire up a vent now. Yep.
Not a lot of progress being made here by either player.
No, not really. But if Jeff's able to draw land number 7,
yeah,
this one might end real fast. I think he may have just drawn land 7. Yep, he'll start by attacking for 2. Land 7 is an Evolving Wild. It's a good land to have. Transformation is complete here. Nissa Vastwood Seer will transform into Nissa Sage Animus. Starts on 3 counters, as Jeff will sacrifice the Evolving Wilds. The land will enter the battlefield tapped, whichever one he does search for, which will be a swamp. And now it's going to go up to 4. And read the bones.
This is going okay for him.
I don't want to call a game over before it's over, but...
Oh, yeah. There's still some play left in this game.
Teerawat's going to need some really good draws now.
Yeah, things are starting to tip heavily in Jeff's favor.
And Jeff actually just found a copy of Seasons Past, so it gets even worse now. And he's finally found red mana in Smoldering Marsh, but it's only to cast a Roast.
A little underwhelming.
Yeah. Well, if you want to clock that that Nissa a little bit, I think that's reasonable. Well, he's just going to pass the turn back. I guess also Jeff has access to his Grasp of Darkness, so
yeah.
Forget that. Here's Ob Nixilis. And that Season's passed. Time to reload.
Yeah, and he gets everything here.
He gets a Duress, a Read the Bones, Evolving Wilds, a Dark Petition, a Sylvan Advocate.
A 0, 1, a 2, a 3, and a 5.
Yep.
And with the tutor, you can just go rebuy that Season's Past at any point.
Duress is going to take care of Roast. Jeff got to figure out what land to play. He'll get an Evolving Wilds. Hasn't used Nissa just yet.
Yeah, it looked like he was going to indicate Nissa.
See if he wants to plus it or minus it.
Yeah, he can wait a turn and...
Yeah, he's going to plus, get an ultimate price. And does he have to discard? Oh, poor guy.
Yeah, just...
Got to lose in Languish. Over to the player with 1 card.
Yeah. Yeah, it sucks that Jeff just can't cast all of his spells.
It's tough. It's really tough.
He's got to be mana screwed, right?
Yeah. That's a Gideon. It's going to make a Night Ally, pass the turn back. Real Pratoomsri over to Hoogland, who is certainly in the driver's seat right now. Nissa going up. Land of War Waste enters the battlefield. Shambling Vent is the land for the turn. And now, an ultimate price. Now a Sylvan Advocate.
Now the vent is big enough to take down...
Yep, Gideon.
Gideon, yeah.
There's be some pretty good draws here for Teerawat.
Yes.
Just going to put that out there.
Maybe balance.
Balance doesn't kill planeswalkers, Craig.
No, it doesn't, but it would be a start.
Balance is where you want to start.
It doesn't even... I'm not sure, like...
I'm not sure balance is a game winner. And it's really good.
A Cataclysm wouldn't really do it here?
No.
I don't know.
It would take a lot. It would take a lot. He's in a really, really bad spot, and I think he knows it. Can't be Vista the land here for Jeff. Nissa going up. Let's see what that top card is. Den Protector. Things are getting easier.
Sure, yeah.
Jeff just figuring out ways to close this one out right now. Shambling Vent going to get fired up. Another Shambling Vent going to get fired up. This will be an attack for 12. The Grasp of Darkness is going to kill that Shambling Vent. Jeff's going to gain 8 life, deal 12 damage. Teerawat going to fall down to 3.
All right, we're running out of time.
Are we? Are we? We'll get to see one more draw step here, and that is going to do it. Jeff Hoogland's going to win this match here over Teerawat. Pratoomsri 2-0. Obs on Seasons Pass will take care of Mardu Control. And really, I think, all kidding aside, I think the matchup is horrible for Teerawat.
Yeah, it looked like things just lined up really well for Jeff, the matchup.
I think both decks are basically trying to do the same thing.
Yeah.
But Jeff's deck is just better at it.
Yes.
Because he has access to Dark Petition and Seasons Past, where Teerawat doesn't.
Well, and even some of these other cards, when you're always sitting on removal, it's kind of awkward. So having a card like Sylvan Advocate is just a little more proactive.
No, absolutely. I mean, you just get to attack.
Yeah.